Surprise, surprise. The Cleveland Browns hold the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. If you want to go safe and you finally want to get a starting quarterback for the first time in, 25 years since Vinny Testaverde was in Cleveland, maybe you go Sam Darnold. And that's the first quarterback we're going to look at in our 2018 NFL Draft Film Room Series. Brendan Albert is here. I am Adrian Fedke. Sam, I am. Sam, he is.
Sam is going to be the first overall pick, in my opinion. Look, when you are teams who are drafting, there's pretty much two kind of train of thoughts you go into. Are we looking at a home run, or are we looking just to kind of put this one right down the fairway and get a nice single or a double? And you know what? If you're the Cleveland Browns, take the nice single or the double, because you haven't had a single or double at the quarterback position in over 25 years. One of my favorite things I saw on Instagram a while ago, okay? I saw some guy tweeted at, Robert Griffin. He goes, I don't even know why I follow Robert Griffin anymore. He was a terrible quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. And Robert Griffin tweeted back at him, and he said, because I was the last quarterback to give your team a win. And I was like, damn, that's actually an awesome response. So to me, you take Sam Darnold. He's solid. He's polished. Is he necessarily have the high ceiling as a guy like Allen? No. But he does everything fine. I think he's enough to take at the first overall pick if you're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, the first thing that kind of jumps out to you for me when I watched him is his accuracy. And the first couple clips kind of illustrate that. And we're about to watch him drop it in the bucket.
Yeah, I think his accuracy is very good. Now, he certainly doesn't have that elite level power of an arm, but take a peek at this, guys. This ability to put the ball over the outside shoulder where not only can only his receiver catch it, his receiver can run, and his receiver is away from any danger here. This is just an awesome job here of being a really nice placement. And this is one of those things that he has a big, big difference between him and Allen is his accuracy.
Yeah, and he usually puts that proper trajectory on the ball. So, he's not throwing it on the line. He's looping that perfectly into his lap, allowing him to get all that yak that he can get, hitting him in stride, all that good stuff.
Absolutely right, Adrian. In the NFL, especially if he goes to the Cleveland Browns, a guy like Jarvis Landry has made his career off yak yardage. So this is a great example of how he would be a nice fit there with Jarvis.
Yep. All right, next thing we're going to look at, touch and arm power. Now, obviously, like you just kind of said, doesn't have the biggest arm in this draft, but he shows some of it here. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, that's beauty.
See, when people talk about arm power, people think it's about throwing the ball really far. It's not necessarily about that. It's about, can you throw the ball on a rope without putting too much loft on it? This ball is absolutely on a nice rope. If he puts too much loft on it, it gives more time for the safety to get over the top.
Yep.
Ball's on a nice rope. It's an awesome placement here as well. This is exactly what you want. Again, when you're playing an NFL-level defense like the Buckeyes have, it's a great job fitting that ball in a nice window there.
Yeah, and again, perfect trajectory. So he's got his trajectories down, something that maybe Josh Allen does not right now. But Sam Darnold, he's got it.
Yeah, and when you talk about, quarterbacks, my boss, Chris Winkie, who won the Heisman at Florida State and, was a quarterback coach for the Rams. He's now with the University of Tennessee. He taught three things. There's three different types of ball quarterbacks throw. The one ball is what you throw in the slant. That's the heater, man. That's when you're trying to zing it in there. The two, a little bit of arc and pace, just to put it over a linebacker, over a defensive back, fit it in before the safety or before, the outside linebacker. And then the three ball, this is the dig, the post, things you're throwing really deep. This is going to have a lot of air under it. This is a good example here of a two ball, what we would consider.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, I like that. That's some good stuff from Chris Winkie right there.
Yep, arc and pace.
Yep. All right, next thing we're going to see. He works the pocket really well. He maneuvers in it, and you see this play. So he steps up, finds the receiver in the back of the end zone. That's a perfect ball.
Yeah, the freaking ball placement here is just stupid. It's an awesome job here, a little pump, and I'll step up here, get your feet set, and then throw an absolute strike in the back of the end zone, man.
That is sweet. And he can work the pocket really, really well.
Yeah. He's a better athlete than people realize. His ability to move in the pocket is noticed, but he actually can make you hurt. He can hurt a defense with his feet too. Awesome job here of keeping his eyes downfield as well. And then, like I said, just an absolute dime in the back of the end zone.
You know what it is? It's because he's a ginger. It's exactly what it is.
There it is.
You know, the same thing happened with Carson Wentz because he's a ginger.
You've heard it here, folks. Here first, sir, Adrian. Adrian is proclaiming that gingers have special powers. This is a first to me, and I had nothing to comment on now.
No, what I'm saying is gingers are normally kind of relegated in their athleticism, but Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz, they have it.
This I will support. I will support this theory you have going.
All right, so this might seem like a little thing, but the accuracy on the quick slants, on the crosses that he possesses, so he would be perfect in a West Coast kind of system as we kind of talked about through text. So you can see him put the ball on the proper shoulder, allow him maximum yards after the catch.
Yeah, yak ability is what receivers are going to love most about Darnold because he's such an accurate passer, especially underneath. And his West Coast ability, I think, is really where he's going to utilize. If you're looking for a team who wants to really throw the ball vertical, probably not going to be your ideal fit, but he's going to be a guy who we can dink and dunk and carve you apart underneath.
All right, we talked about movement in the pocket, and we're going to see some of that right here. Buys some extra time and finds his receiver downfield.
Again, very similar to what we saw in the touchdown pass against Texas, able to move around in the pocket a little bit, throws a really nice two-ball here right in between the corner and the safety. Good arc and pace on this. Reset your feet, get your body underneath you. Nice ball there, man.
Yeah. And he always gets his feet reset, it seems like.
Yeah, I would probably say, Adrian, that he probably has the best feet in this draft, which is a big, big thing, especially for me. You know, my boss, Coach Winkie, he was a foot Nazi, man. It was all about the footwork from the ground up. That was everything. So that was kind of how I was taught. So I'm a big Darnold fan because his feet look so clean. Yeah.
All right. So one thing that USC runs a lot of sprint plays to the right. And so Darnold can throw really, really well on the move. And you're going to see this where he stops on a dime, eludes that linebacker, and he throws back across the field for the completion.
Again, having that ability to move around in the pocket, keeping the eyes downfield, reset the feet, and throw a strike. You're noticing a trend here, guys. He is very good off script. When things aren't perfect, he's very cool, calm, and collected. He's not panicking. He's not throwing it. He's not making bad decisions always because he does make some bad ones. But he's a high-risk, high-reward guy when it comes to situations in the pocket. And, Adrian, at the end of this show, I'm going to tell you exactly who the player comparison he has is.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. So we referenced the ginger powers earlier and his unique athleticism. 3rd and 10, scrambling ability. He's going to pick up this first down.
Again, a better athlete than you would think. When you look at, Darnold, most people would probably say, yeah, he's an average guy, nothing really super. 4.85 in the 40. That's better than most people thought he was going to be, especially at a quarterback who came in at 220 pounds. He's a pretty thick dude. He's put together well. Again, can he be Michael Vick? No, he's not going to have 100 rushing yards in a game. But it wouldn't shock me if he has a couple games of 60 and 70 with maybe 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. All right, next thing we're going to see here, he threads a pass between a trio of defenders. This is a sick throw. It's a touchdown. But the problem here is this is something he does far too often where he takes chances in the red zone.
He makes a shit ton of these. No. Hey, good throw. Hey, good throw, man. That was a really nice throw. He makes a shit ton of these plays, and this is absolutely one of them. I mean, if you're Paul positive, you're thinking, man, this is an awesome ball placement. Puts that two ball right over the linebacker's head right before the defensive back where only his receiver can get it. Awesome. If you're negative Nancy, you're thinking, dude, if there's 3 guys on this one receiver, someone else is either single covered or someone else is wide open. So, I can see the argument on both sides of this, but as I talked about Darnold, he has high risk ability with these type of situations and also high reward.
Yeah, and there's definitely examples of this where he got picked off, and that's not what you want in the red zone. You want to get points on the board.
Absolutely. He'll make some bad mistakes here with the ball.
Yeah. All right, next thing we're going to see, it's a pre-snap misread. Didn't see Deshaun Elliott. I believe this is – nope, this is something else. Never mind. So it's a quick slant. You can see the defender jumps on that, and it's pick 6 the other way.
Yep. So what you're going to see here, guys, pre-snap from the Ohio State game here is number 3. So receivers are counted for quarterbacks outside in. So the inside most receiver is going to be number 3. You're going to see he is essentially what we call uncovered because we can see here cornerback manned up here, 2 manned up here. Third receiver is going to be covered by the slot for the safety. So he is thinking, cool, if I can throw the quick slant here, I can hit him. Well, what he doesn't realize is this safety, he doesn't have deep half. He's actually an underneath player. It's a cover 3 robber situation. And as soon as he reads color run across his face, he's coming right downhill right away. And that's why they're able to play that Ohio State fight song really early there and against that game.
Yeah, and he robbed them of 7 points. So 17-0 Ohio State in a blink.
Yeah.
So we're going to see it one more time. And there you go.
Pre-snap decision. He just said, hey, look, he's off. Cool. This is easy pitch and catch. Anything that looks easy in Ohio State isn't easy. It looks easy for a reason.
All right, so the next clip is Deshaun Elliott, and he jumps this route. And you're going to talk about long motion. Got a little bit too long here.
A little bit long motion here. You kind of see he gets a little bit like a round up a little bit versus a lot of quarterbacks. Balls carried here. Ball's a little bit long in that release. Is it massive issue for me? Not necessarily. I don't think it's something that's a big concern. But I also know guys who are quarterback coaches in the league who are huge about release time. And if that's the case, you might not love him as much as some other guys. So this is an example here of release. It's a little bit long. Deshaun comes downhill, boom, breaks his play up. We actually reviewed that play, Adrian, when we talked about Deshaun Elliott too.
Yes, we did. So the same play twice for the first time in our series. How about that? Double dose. All right, one last play. You know what? This is pretty sick too, but a little bit of negative here. So this is a jump pass where he finds the receiver for a first down, but you think he's a little bit too tall.
So what you're going to see here is what he's going to do is he's going to kind of get his feet reset. He's going to get a little bit tall. That's not really a good example of that, Adrian. Never mind. But here's what I talk about with him. I think he's the best fourth quarter quarterback in this draft. Do I think any of these guys are going to be Tom Brady cold-blooded killers? Not necessarily. But of the group here, if you said, hey, here's the deal, you're down 5, you have 2 minutes to go, and you can pick any quarterback to lead your team down the field, I would pick Darnold. Darnold has shown the ability to do this against Utah, against Texas, against Washington, and he's doing this with a USC team that was never the talent that you and I, Adrian, would think about USC. This is a hell of a play, man, of stepping into the blitz, putting a little touch over the top, making a really catchable ball here.
Yeah, my eyes lit up when I saw that. I was like, wow, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Darnold, he may go number 1. What we shall see. It sounded like the Browns like Baker Mayfield a lot, and there was talk for a little bit that maybe they go Barkley at 1 and Baker at 4. But now since the Jets traded up to 3, maybe it's better to go quarterback 1, and maybe you can have Barkley fall to 4. So if that's the case, maybe you go Darnold at 1.
Well, here's the way you look at the top 4 picks. Three's a quarterback, no question. Okay, the Jets don't make that trade unless they are absolutely all in for a quarterback. So one of the 4 quarterbacks will not be there at 4. So now you're essentially saying, okay, what are the Giants going to do? The Giants could go Darnold if he's there. They could go Allen if he's there. They could go Chubb if he's there. My gut says the Giants are going to take Saquon if he's there. I think he's the cleanest and the best prospect. I don't think you need to reinvent the wheel. I think you just take him if he's there. I'd rather see the Giants take a quarterback, but that's just my personal opinion. So, with that said, let's say you play worst-case scenario if you're the Browns. Worst-case scenario, quarterback goes 2, quarterback goes 3. Now, you take Saquon at 1, that's great. Now you're looking at your 3rd quarterback on your hierarchy. So, for the Browns, because we know we've seen those jerseys with the 25 different names running down the back of those Browns jerseys, don't get cute. Take the quarterback you like most. Personally, for me, it's Sam Darnold. I think he's a low risk. I think his floor is a little bit higher than most guys. Maybe not as high as the ceiling. But for the Browns, just get a guy who puts the ball in the fairway. And that's what you really get in Sam Darnold.
Yeah. My argument before for drafting Barkley at 1 was I didn't think there was much of a drop-off from the top 4 quarterbacks. They're all kind of in the same ballpark. Josh Allen, Darnold, Josh Rosen, and Mayfield. But now after that trade, I was like, all right, maybe you can get Barkley at 4. And that's why I'm going Darnold at 1.
And I think that's fair too. I think if the Colts were still there at 3 and, you play the scenario out that, 2 and 3 don't move, then I would have been okay if you would have said, hey, let's take the best player available and Saquon Barkley at 1 and then figure out who the quarterback is at 4. But now, because quarterback's gone at 3, I still think it's likely that the Giants either could take a quarterback or maybe they trade and then the Bills trade the farm up and the Bills go to 2. If that's the case, you as the Browns fans are thinking, thank God we take the quarterback at 1. So to me, don't overthink it. Take the quarterback at 1. And then if Chubb's there, I think he's a stud at 4. If Barkley's there at 4, great. If not, trade out and get more picks. That's fine too.
Yeah. You seem to be having a difficult time choosing between Josh Allen and Sam Darnold as your number 1. So should I put you on the spot right now? Do you have your mind made up as to who you want at number 1?
I'll take Sam Darnold, my number 1.
Okay.
This was tough for me because the way I looked at it is Allen absolutely has a huge ceiling. I mean, Allen could be an unbelievable talent in the NFL. But for me, I am going to bet on guys who have more accuracy than guys who don't have accuracy. So I know Allen, you can make the fair conversation about, well, he wasn't playing with players. A lot of drops lead to incompletions, make the accuracy percentage look less. I'm taking Darnold if you had to ask me, Adrian.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. I don't have any more questions. You got anything else you want to say?
I want to rattle off, Adrian, who I think he reminds me of. I want to see if you get it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You wanted to tell me.
All right.
You want me to guess?
Yep. Let me kind of walk you through who I think this guy is. Okay.
All right.
Same measurables, 6'2", 220.
Okay.
Was a guy who would win games in the fourth quarter, but also would make some boneheaded interceptions in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Better athlete than you would think. Was able to make people miss in the pocket, extend plays, make plays down the field. Didn't necessarily win as much as you would have liked in the postseason, though.
Trying to think. See, I'm trying to think of a guy that's 6'2". Because when I look at his arm motion, it reminds me of Sam Bradford. But I know you're not talking about Sam Bradford because he did nothing in the postseason. He never won in the fourth quarter.
Right? He never won in the fourth quarter. This guy has won in the fourth quarter, but he is more remembered for the losses in the fourth quarter. But in his credit, he was a 4-time Pro Bowler and over his 12-year career.
All right, so this is a guy that's retired now.
He's retired now.
Okay, that changes the game. And he's got the same measurables. He's also
same measurables.
3. Huh. Who did not win as much as I thought? I'm trying to keep the conversation going so we have no dead air as I think.
Okay. I'll give you some other things. 34,000 passing yards over his time in the NFL. So he certainly is pretty damn accomplished there. Let's see here if I can find any rushing yards.
I got nothing right now. Somebody's gonna guess in our comment section long before I make a guess.
Oh, 100%. I'm really excited about seeing who that person is.
And you cannot say his name after the fact when Brendan reveals who it is.
Correct.
God damn it, dude! I feel
Here's the last thing I'll say before I tell you it. Unlike Darnold, this guy had a bad history of getting injured. Darnold doesn't have the injury concern, but this guy does. This guy did, I should say, before he retired.
Yes. See, that makes me think Sam Bradford again.
No.
I know it's not Sam Bradford. It's like kind of a joke. I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of somebody that didn't win a lot in the playoffs, but he won a lot. Tony Romo.
Bingo. Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
Everything about when I watch Darnold, it's so much like Romo. His ability to make guys miss in the pocket, able to make big throws down the field, but then all of a sudden we'll throw this boneheaded interception. You'll think, well, what the hell? And then all of a sudden the next drive will be unbelievable. So I think Darnold and Romo are very, very similar. And you know what? I'm sure, since we got a lot of Eagles fans, they're thinking, oh, I wouldn't draft Romo number 1 overall. But you know what? If you're the Cleveland Browns and you have you had your laundry list of Brandon Whedons of the world, yeah, you would have drafted Tony Romo overall if I would have told you that.
I like that Tony Romo comparison. I like
it's
that.
completely similar, man. Their style of play is so similar. Both of them kind of have a little bit of a hitch in their motion. I think it's I think they're perfect players comparisons.
It took me a while to get there, but I got it. I got it on the first try.
You're going to love my Baker Mayfield comparison. I'm going to save that for our Baker show.
Ooh, okay. All right, we'll end this show now then. So this is called a teaser, you guys. We're teasing that one.
Come back, fellas.
Did you do the eye blink? Is that the eye blink? That's Brendan Albert. I'm Adrian. Thank you. The eye blink that always gets Adrian in the intro. Peace.
Appreciate it.